Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here. We are going to be taking a look at Mezco's Batman Sovereign Knight from their 112 collective pose play display. Here's the box. Nice slate gray. This is the regular release version. On the back shows you the figure, multiple heads, a whole bunch of batarangs, bat drone, knuckles, all the other fun stuff. Base, posing post, and there's also one for the cape as well. Grapple hook, sonic disruptor. Okay, so you got one large batarang in there too. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. Now I have done a review of the Mezco exclusive one, which was a bit covered in pleather, I guess. Very pleathery. So here's the base. Very nice, very simple. I like that it's just a bat logo. This is cool. If somebody says, "Who's that?" and you don't know that that's Batman, I think they got a problem. Okay, let's take a look at the main man himself. Here we go. Head sculpt is amazing, and there's 3 other head sculpts to go over, so I like this head sculpt. I think it looks great. I think it looks better on this one than the Mezco version. I wasn't a fan of the Mezco version. I thought it was very rubbery looking, so this one's going to be a step up from that one. Bat symbol is very thick and very pronounced. It's very reminiscent to the Sunday Night Batman, which I'll be bringing in at the end for us to compare. Let's go over what's plastic. Let's go over the joints, and then I'll give you my input on the suit itself. All right, so plastic head, plastic neck, fabric cape, of course, plastic arm gauntlet, plastic hand, plastic belt, plastic symbol, plastic kneecap, plastic boots, and for articulation, we got one in the head to neck. The neck itself moves a little bit, but not too much. Shoulder. Elbow is double jointed. Feels double jointed. Yep, it's double jointed elbow. Wrist. Abs. A little bit there, you can feel it. Waist is there, but you really can't turn the waist too much on these figures. You got one at the hip, of course. Double jointed knee. And ankle tilt. Ankle, yep. Boot cuff a little bit. You could wiggle that around a little bit, but it really isn't a point to it. Okay. The suit overall, when it first was shown off, there was a lot of vinyl line work done to it. You can actually kind of see where the line work was in the light. You can see like where his ribcage is, and they removed it and they left this. Now it doesn't look too bad on camera. In person, this like little plastic that they put on the suit, in the wrong kind of lighting, it almost looks like a plucked chicken, which I know is kind of ridiculous because this light gray almost comes off as white at times. So it can come and go. It depends on your mood. It depends on how he looks. Overall, I think he looks great. Got the cape folded back nicely for once. Overall, I think he's a cool looking figure. I think this is I like the evolution that they're doing with this figure, and I'll talk more about that at the end. Let's get over the accessories because he comes with a ton of accessories. And who doesn't love accessories that we're only going to use and then throw back in the box for like maybe a heartbeat? But hey, we have options, and that's the important part. Let's go over the boring ones first, which are the hands. I pulled out one side of the hands because you get one of each, but let's not just show off both of them. Let's just show off one. Okay, so you got a hand to hold the batarangs. You have a hand that's more closed for the batarang. Now remember, you do get a left and a right for these. You have a more open hand. It's like you had just thrown the batarang. And then you have a pretty much closed hand with a slight, probably a gripping hand for the grapple gun or sonic disruptor. And you get just one right hand kryptonite knuckle buster. So when you want to punch that Superman, there you go. All right, so those are the hands that we get. We get a bat drone, which is nicely done. It's done in black. It's done as gunmetal and silver, which all the other accessories are as well. Oh, the wings move. I didn't even realize that. The wings move. Okay. So a little bit of articulation in the wings. Nothing to put it onto a stand, which I think is a little disappointing. A small little pin, not a pin, but like a small little hole at the bottom of this wouldn't have been a terrible thing, and a little stand to just perch him. Because without it, you either A, had to get some fishing line or something like that, hang them from the ceiling, or just like put them on a shelf, or like put them down on like a workbench that Batman's working on them. It doesn't work for really like in action type of accessory. So just a food for thought there. All right, so we have the Sonic Disruptor, which has a hole in it. I wonder what the hole's for. If anybody knows what the hole is for, let me know, because there's a hole in the side of this. Like, does it plug into him? Let's take a look. See, sometimes I realize things or I recognize things while I'm working on the figure or showing this off to you guys, and I don't know what that hole is for. So there's that. Somebody knows, let me know what the hole is for. Maybe it shouldn't be there and it's defective. Don't know. So, okay. We get the grapple gun. Very nicely done. Very simplistic, but I love the designs of these things. I love that they actually changed the design between the Ascending Knights. He comes with a grapple gun as well. I love how they changed it. So it's almost like this one is supposed to be older, which he is. He's if you're going in line with what they're doing here is they're doing stages of Batman's life. The Ascending Batman was young Batman. This is the Sovereign Batman. So this is basically middle age. They have one more coming out, which is Supreme, which supposedly is going to be the oldest one. Don't know what the costume looks like. They've only shown off him from the back. So, anyway, the grapple gun. You get regular grapple. Get this in camera. Just a regular grapple that can be loaded in. Just like so. And then you also get one that you can plug the... And then he has a nice little... tow line cable, which will, it's not very long. It's a little bit longer than him. So if he's a 6-inch figure, I'd say you get about 7 inches of rope. I would not suggest trying to actually have him use this and hold on to it. He will come out. It's not going to hold him. So it's more just for show. You can glue it in if you wanted to, but this is just for show if you want to have him like standing somewhere and have it like kind of firing out. But it's a very thin, sorry, with the camera. It's a very thin rope. It's not going to have that like wire armature where you can actually have it like mid-flight type of thing where it's like firing out. You'd have to customize that yourself. Large batarang. Gunmetal gray, once again. Decently sized, I guess, for those big villains like Killer Croc and or Bane. So that's cool. And then you get all of these wonderful small batarangs, which are pretty much easy to lose, so I'm leaving them in the plastic. But they're cool. They're just plain jet black. Plain jet black batarangs. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. So that's pretty cool. They give you this many. Now, either A, they think that you're going to lose them, or B, they just want to give you a ton of batarangs because it's Batman. All right, so last bit of accessories that it comes with are the head sculpts. Now, first head sculpt that we get is another Batman head. You're like, why would they give you 2 Batman heads? This one has shorter ears. It actually looks pretty cool. And you can see his teeth a little bit, which I'm not too fan of. It almost looks like he's biting his bottom lip. So, other than that, I love the shorter ears. I'm a big fan of Jim Lee. So, Jim Lee likes to draw short ears on Batman. So, there's the short ear Batman. I'm not a big fan of the mouth, though. So, yay on the ears, no on the teeth. So, there's the other head. A little bit closer up. Okay. Second head, or third head, I should say, is back to the long ears, but beat the F up Batman. So So this side, you're like, hey, he's okay. Whoa, what happened, buddy? Look at that. Yeah, his eyes like bloodshot. He's got those pretty blue eyes. He's got the scratch. It almost looks like he was fighting Catwoman because of the way that the claw marks are appearing. Like you can see, like they kind of start off very sharp. So I don't know what he said to piss her off, but yeah, he probably said he was more of a dog person. So that'll do it. Mezco does great work on the eyes themselves and very lifelike. So I will give him that. This is an amazing sculpt. And you know what? I'm okay with the teeth here because he's really like, he's like, I'm beat up. I'm hurt. So like I could see him like kind of panting or just being heavy breath that you'd actually see his teeth at this point. So this one looks cool. I don't know if I'd ever use it because I like my Batmans to look more together. But if you're doing like a scene or you want to just have like a beat up Batman, at least you got the head for it. And I love the sculpt. So two long-eared Batman heads, one short-eared Batman head, one beat-up Batman head, and then we get the Bruce Wayne head. All right, so great sculpt. And I wish I had pulled out the Ascending Knight Batmans. I think I did in the Mezco version, the Mezco exclusive. I think I pulled out both heads. But looks a little bit older. You can see there's like a little bit, like you can see a hint of gray right there in the hair, which I think is very subtle, which I think is very smart for them to do. They just added a little bit at the temples, just to show that his hair, like, and his hair is sculpted a little bit differently than the Ascending Knight Batman. Show that he's a little bit older, a little bit more, just a little bit more older, plain and simple. Face sculpt is perfect. It's not representative of any character, of any actor. It's like, basically, like they just said, we got to compile what Bruce Wayne would look like, and this is what we got. And I think they did a great job with it. This looks like Bruce Wayne. If somebody said, what does Bruce Wayne look like? There you go. Let's try the pointy ears. Let's try the unmasked head on him and see how he looks. So there you go with the unmasked head. It looks a little smallish, but I think that's to be expected. Like, you know, you're used to this big, giant head with the ears and everything, and it's a little bit more expected for the head to be a little bit smaller than what you're expecting. So I think that's okay. All right, so let's put back on long-eared Batman. I'll put this over here, and we'll compare him to his predecessor, the Ascending Knight Batman. So here is Sovereign Knight Batman. That just fell over and knocked over all the heads. Let's get these all back out of here. Get back up here. I meant to do that. No, I'm kidding. All right. So here is, I'm going to bring down the camera just a little bit for you guys. Okay. So there is the Sovereign. I've been calling him Ascending. Who knows? Here is the Ascending. All right. So you can see that the ears on this one are way kind of more distant from the cowl. Very pointy, very sharp. The costume itself has a lot more gray. This vinyl is what I'm talking about, that they had like throughout all this, and it was in black. And they took it out because they probably saw that a lot of people online were removing all this gray and just having a flat suit. A lot of people like flat suits. They don't like the texture. Mezco likes texture. Just deal with it. That's how they come. You can tell that they added knee pads. He has no knee pads. He probably, he's getting older, so he's got to protect those knees. You know what I'm saying? Boots are different. This is more of an armored boot. This is more of just a pair of shoes with laces. So you can see that this was basically Bruce Wayne learning the ropes, as it were. Like he's like first starting off being Batman. Doesn't really, like, he figured out his cowl. He's like, I got a cowl. I got that. But the rest of it is he's just got a pair of gloves on with a couple of little fins. You can see as he's learned, he's gotten more armored. Like he's figured out that like he's got to be a little bit more protected. So maybe the next Batman that they do, the last Batman, the Supreme Batman, will be a lot more armored, as it were. I don't know. But you can see that there is like a progression. Like this is a young Batman. This is a little bit older of a Batman. Even I keep the grapple gun. Like I have him on display, and he has a grapple gun in his hand. You can even tell by the grapple gun. grapple gun. You see how they've changed over time. This one's a little bit thicker, probably stronger. So let's see, that slides out. You guys, I wonder if you can put this in here. You can even put that in there. Why you'd want to? Doesn't matter. So yeah. So there's a progression, and you can see it in the figures. You'll be able to see it in Bruce Wayne's head. So if you were to go through different stages, you can see that. Which one's my favorite Batman? Don't know yet. Haven't seen them all. Haven't had them all in hand yet. When I do, I'll come back. I'll do a review of all the Batmans from each one, and we'll do like a whole Batman party, and we'll figure out which one comes out on top. But for now, these are the two we have. I think I'm leaning a little bit closer to this Batman, maybe because of the multiple heads and the accessories, and this is more of a younger Batman, so it's hard to pick. It's honestly hard to pick. I like this one because I like the arm gauntlets, I like the leg armor, the knee pads, so on the knee pads. But I do like the texture of the Batman suit on this one. So it's hard to pick, and that's basically what's going to keep happening. People are going to be like, I like this part of this one, I like that part of that one, and they're going to just keep going around and around and around. Just want to see the neck sculpt on that. It was kind of covered up by the cape. I would like to have them at least have one Batman cape with an armature in it, with the wire going through it, because they do give you an arm to actually like have the cape like kind of like pushed out underneath him if he was jumping. But overall, I think it'd be kind of cool if they actually had made like a more thicker cape. You can actually just kind of have like curled up or like blowing like this, without having to have like an armature for it. So that's one thing that I would like to see. Whether it'll happen or not, doubtful. The utility belts are different, as you can see, but they both do have the same feature in the back, which is that you can load in the grapple gun into the back of it. Yeah, it's just this is curled in a little bit, so you'd actually have to like pull it out. It's rubber. It's like a rubbery material, so that's always a cool feature, that you can put an accessory on the back of them, so that if you ever do feel like you want to have it out, or just so you can like kind of show that he has something behind his back. That's cool. So, is he worth the price? Absolutely. Is this the Batman that you should get? That's a personal opinion. That's up to you. Any Batman that you have on your shelf from Mezco, you're going to be happy with because you picked it. It's your opinion. It's your money. Are you going to be happy with that Batman? Absolutely. You're going to be happy with that Batman? Absolutely. There is no right or wrong answer in this. I think they're both fantastic figures. Some I think are better than others, i.e. the Mezco version I thought was a little bit too much vinyl, too much shine to them. But this one's better. So there you go, guys. I know this is a 20-minute review on Batman, but there's a lot of stuff to get through and a lot of stuff to go over. But there you go, guys. Sovereign Knight Batman. See ya.